Hey guys and gals on YouTube, how y'all doing? Dave Boyd here. We're going to go back to the year 1995 with Lego set 1787. It's a Unitron set known as the Crater Cruiser. It was advertised as having 180 pieces. Apparently it actually had 183 according to Bricklink. Here's the build. I always found it kind of interesting because it uses the three-sized wheels. There is no turning mechanism, and unfortunately, or fortunately, if you like it, it has a very open appearances that was common at the time of plate building. It uses many of the trans colors that was very common and popular at the time. And overall, I think it's a rather pleasing set. For play features, other than the obvious rolling it around, you have your opening canopies, and you have your chief figure, which not only does he have rather interesting goggles on, under his visor, which is kind of curious, but he has his printed element on top. The other character, the rank and file, does not. And his face, he's got a little flash of red hair. Otherwise, it's a yellow and blue, and they actually match the builds very well. The colors work. This is a removable piece on the back that is like a separate flyer. It does have a detailed propulsion on the back, and they're pretty good about the anti-studding, about it not becoming attached permanently. For curiosity's sake, if you like Spirius and some of the other sets like that, you will note that this plate on the inside is from that. So it will be the Rock Raiders from 1999. They were still using it. They got some miles out of that one. But it's a good, solid build, pleasant, and it's got some weight to it. This build is not terribly weak without that removed. And then I find it kind of an awkward but strangely confusing build. This comes up. I guess that works as a rocket propulsion on the back, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe a communication device or possibly a weapon. I'm not sure. Your imagination really did go a long way with these non-licensed sets. But not bad. It's pretty cool. And I like the use of the trans colors. It's more of a showcase for those than for anything else. Nowadays, this would not fly, this open studs everywhere, but I kind of like it. I mean, it's a Lego set, and if I wanted something smooth and clean with no sign of being in a set, I'd probably get like a Tamiya set or something and break out the airbrush and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it wouldn't look like this, of course. But, yeah. Now, the other thing is, when it comes to army building, especially in Lego, I don't, in my personal opinion, especially in space, there's nothing compares to Star Wars. You got the movies, you got the films to back up the big, massive amounts of figures and what have you, equipment. But if you're to go to this era, this Unitron is not bad. They have a base build, they've got a couple of different flyers, and they do have ground vehicles, and they use a lot of this trans blue. Would they look like a good suitable enemy for the Republic? No. I think that if anything, they might look like a civilian or some sort of a different, race, if you will, but they still have the yellow skin of the early Star Wars, so I don't know how far that would go. I do have a second one here, which is not quite finished. I just realized it's missing the propulsion on the back, but this one was pieced together, and this one has no figures in it either. That part's correct. I guess I've done everything but that propulsion on the back. That's kind of interesting. Why I stopped there, but give you an idea of what two of these could look like, so you get an idea of what army building could look like. I don't know. It's okay, I think. But this one here, was made in 1995, so the person who had this, probably 40s now, right? I wonder what they're doing, what they're up to. This particular one, most of this one came from Baltimore. It wasn't an estate sale, it was an eBay listing, and I believe this was the only Lego set he had. And he literally said he or she did not know if it was even complete, and it wasn't, but that's okay. I've had a lot of the other pieces here. I believe I was missing one of these things here, and I do find the the cockpit kind of interesting. It's kind of sparse, and like I said, this tile here has been used in Spirias and it's used in Rock Raiders too. But yeah, kind of a cool hinged build. It's not bad. I kind of like the vehicle. I don't like the ground clearance, especially with the name like Crater Cruiser, but that's okay, you know. I mean, it's all right. Anyways, part of the reason why I want to talk about this set in particular was I wonder where it been, who had it, how they're doing now, and if they would like to know that their old set has been washed, cleaned of what smelled like bacon grease, and is almost, except for this, back to looking 100%. I guess I should put the figures in it though. Anyways, really appreciate the views out there, the great community. Y'all stay safe, take care. Until next time, ciao. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you're building, what you have, what you think of these old sets. If you like the Trans Blue era, which I'm gonna call it the 90s, but in reality I would call from about 1987 to about, and I cut it at 1999, not just because this was drying up, this type of build, but because it's the end of a century. And if you really look back, 2003 is looming with a big color change, and 99 not only is at the end of a century, it's like the end of, like Lego's leaving their past behind. It's kind of sad, kind of a bittersweet, because there were some great sets, and there's some great sets now, and I think the old sets kind of had to die to make way for the new stuff. But the cool thing is it's made of plastic. It lasts a really long time. So if you don't like some of the new stuff, you can go back to the past, or vice versa. Mix and match. You can have both of them. I was going to grab something to show new stuff, but I think everything here is about the same era. I mean, this is 1999 here, and you can see the restrained use of the trans neon green, but the build, even though it's completely different, is yet similar, isn't it? Anyways, that's my opinion. Oops, there, just fell off. I had something about some of these old pieces. They do get a bit loose there. Anyways, appreciate the views. Y'all stay safe till next time. Ciao.